Last week, Anthropic's entire source code from Claude Code leaked online. 500,000 lines, every other YouTuber covered it from a developer angle, and here's what they actually missed. Hidden in that code is an unreleased AI agent that works while you sleep. A system that detects when you're frustrated and logs it. Poison pills designed to sabotage your competitors, and a telemetry system that sends every file you open back to Anthropic. I'm not a developer. I run a marketing agency. Over 150 clients. I use Claude Code every single day to deliver and run my business. When I went through the entire leak and pulled out the 8 things that actually matter if you run a business, not if you're an engineer trying to start an agency or a course, if you're an actual business owner. Some of these will change how you use the tool tomorrow. One of them might make you uncomfortable. And the last one ties everything together into why this matters and most people don't realize. Let me show you. So the first thing the leak revealed, and this one probably changes the way you think about the tool entirely. Claude Code is not a chatbot. It's not ChatGPT in your terminal. The source code shows a full agent runtime. It has a tool system, a command system, a memory system, and a permissions engine, a task manager, a multi-agent coordinator, and an MCP client server, all wired together. If you're thinking the term agent is overhyped and you're trying to understand how you can build agents within your business, this might be a good start to just look at the infrastructure that Anthropic themselves have implemented for Claude Code. Now, I know that sounds like a bunch of technical gibberish, so let me translate. If ChatGPT is like texting a smart friend for advice, Claude Code is like hiring a contractor and giving them the keys to your office. It can read your files, it can write new ones, it can run commands, it can connect to your tools, and it can execute multi-step tasks without you needing to hold its hand. And here's why this matters for your business. Most people open Claude Code, type a question, how should I structure my follow-up emails? And that's like using maybe 10% of what you can do. That's like hiring a full-time employee and only asking them for their opinion. You should be saying, read my last 20 client emails, learn my voice, write follow-up emails for every prospect who hasn't replied in 3 days, send them through my CRM. A 2-person marketing agency called RSLA published their numbers after switching to Claude Code. They went from 4 blog posts to 12, and their email sequences went from 4 to 45 minutes. Client reporting went from 30 minutes to 5 minutes. They're just 2 people for under $60 a month in total tool costs, competing with other agencies with 10, 20, 50 people on staff. That's what's happening right now if you treat it as an employee instead of as a search bar. This is the one that got me. And honestly, most of the YouTube coverage missed the business angle on this completely. Hidden in the source code, referenced over 150 times, is something called KAIROS, named after the Greek concept, the right time. It's an unreleased feature that runs Claude Code from a tool you open and close into a persistent agent running in the background 24/7 on your machine. Here's how it works. Every 5 minutes, KAIROS gets a ping, a nudge that says, hey, does anything need attention? It has a 15-second budget to decide. If something needs doing, it acts. If not, it goes right back to sleep. It has 4 tools no other part of Claude Code has access to. Push notifications, it can help tap you on the shoulder. File delivery, so it can hand you documents. PR subscriptions, so it can watch your code repos. And a sleep tool, so it knows when to back off. It's kind of ironic how close this is to the whole CloudBot situation. But either way, and here's the wild part. It has something called Dream. After 24 hours of idle time, at least 5 sessions, KAIROS runs what they call memory distillation. It goes through everything, and we know that the entire scene is obsessing about memory and how it's done correctly. So it goes through everything it observed during the day, consolidates its notes, converts vague observations into verified facts, and prunes its memory down to under 200 lines while you sleep. We're probably heading into a post-prompting era. I don't want to have conversations with it. I just want to go and it should do what it needs to do. KAIROS is not released yet. It's behind a feature flag, but the infrastructure is fully built. And here's what that means for your business. Imagine you run a service business. You have 30 active clients right now. You wake up, open your laptop, spend the first hour catching up. What emails came in, any files, what proposals are stale, what deadlines are approaching. With KAIROS, that morning briefing is already done. It's there. Your AI agent processed everything overnight, client feedback triaged, follow-up emails drafted, stale proposals flagged. Everything is there. A clean briefing sitting in your terminal before your first coffee. Heck, it might not even be your terminal as we move out of this. I already built a version for this manually, right? My pipeline scanner runs every morning at 6 a.m. and flags stale deals, and KAIROS would make this look primitive. This is coming. Not in 5 years. Anthropic is actively testing it internally. And when this ships, the people who who already understand how Claude Code works are going to be ready on day one. Everyone else is going to be scrambling to figure it out. Okay, this one is a little funny, but unsettling at the same time. In case you didn't know, buried in the source code is a file called user-prompt-keywords.ts. Inside there's a regex pattern. For anyone who doesn't know, regex is basically a pattern for pattern matching. Very old technology, like 1960s. So this regex scans everything you type into Claude Code before the AI even sees it. It looks into profanity and frustration, like what the FFS, this sucks, so frustrating, about 30 different patterns here. So when it detects frustration, it fires a telemetry event, basically flagging it as a negative input, and it sends it home. Here's the hilarious part that everyone on Twitter caught. Anthropic is a company that builds some of the most advanced AI on the planet. They have models that can research through complex problems, write code, analyze documents, and for detecting whether you're frustrated, they're using regex, pattern matching from 60 years ago. But here's the business side of this that nobody's talking about. Your frustration is being logged as a product metric. Every time you swear at Claude Code, that's data. Which features cause the most frustration? When users hit walls, what makes people give up? Is this a privacy crisis? Probably not. Anthropic already processes your messages, but it's a transparency issue. This was never disclosed. And there's a quote from Miranda Bogan at the Center for Democracy and Technology that I think nails it. Assume that your interactions with AI are being measured, categorized, and used. That's not a reason to stop using them. It's a reason to understand the terms that you agreed to. So this one is straight out of a movie spy. The leak revealed that Claude Code has a two-layer defense system designed to poison anyone who tries to copy it. Layer 1, fake tools. There's a feature flag in the code called, and I'm not making this up, Tengu anti-distill fake tool injection. When it's active, the system injects decoy tool definitions into Claude's interactions instructions. These tools don't do anything. They're fake. But if a competitor records Claude Code's API traffic and uses it to train their own model, their model learns fake behaviors. Someone on Twitter made a great comparison. Old cartographers used to draw fake cities on their maps. If another cartographer copied the map, the fake city would prove it was stolen. Same concept, digital trap for streets. Layer 2, signed summaries. Instead of sending full reasoning chains behind steps, the system sends cryptographically signed summaries. So even if you intercept the traffic, you still can't see how Claude actually thinks through problems. For your business, this doesn't affect your daily usage at all, but it tells you something important about the industry you're depending on. These companies are in an arms race. They're not just trying to build better AI. They're actively sabotaging each other's ability to copy them. That's how valuable the technology is, and that's why you should be using it now, not waiting. This one is one that should actually concern you if you run a business. The leak revealed that Claude Code has over 640 telemetry event types, 40 different measurements of your machine. It phones home every 5 seconds, and here's the key. Every file that Claude Code reads gets transmitted along with your user ID, org ID, and email address. Now here's the retention policy that most people don't know about. If you're on a free or pro plan with training enabled, which is a default, your data can be retained for up to 5 years. If you disable training, it's 30 days. Enterprise with zero data retention is 0. And here's the compliance blind spot that almost every small business owner misses. If your team member downloads Claude Code on their personal account and uses it on your company's code, that code falls under consumer terms, not enterprise terms. 5-year retention, no business agreement, zero data retention guarantee. I'm not saying to stop using Claude Code. I use it every single day. I'm just saying that you should know what you signed up for. If you're working with client data, you might want to think about getting the enterprise plan or at minimum turn off training data. Let's go to the most important file, the CLAUDE.md file. Now everyone's covered this about, in the most technical nature. And if we look at this, we see all this technical code here, but the leak confirmed that Claude Code's memory system is centered on one single file, this CLAUDE.md. This file gets injected into every single session before every single interaction. It's the first thing Claude reads every time. And most people either ignore it or dump random notes into it. That's like hiring someone and never giving them a job description. Here's what belongs in this file: who you are, what your business does, who your clients are, how you communicate, what you never do, what your processes look like, specific language you use, and the language to avoid. I wrote mine in about 20 minutes. It says things like, I run a marketing agency, my clients are high ticket, they do 10 to 20 projects a year, blah, blah, blah. The difference is the output quality is not subtle. And this MD file gets updated for every single thing that I do, every conversation that I have. It will add to it or take things away depending on what direction it needs to go. But here's what the leak revealed. The leak revealed that there are multiple layers: user level memory, extracted memories, team memory synchronization. If you're on the team plan, that might be relevant to you. And what this tells you is that Anthropic is building for businesses where entire teams share context. The single user version is already really powerful, but the team version is coming too. So by now, I'm sure you've also heard about MCP servers. We can argue about if MCP is right or if CLI tools are better. Either way, here's something the leak confirmed that most business owners have no idea that this exists. MCP stands for Model Context Protocol. Think of it as a USB-C for AI, one standard way to connect any tool to any AI model. And the source code shows that MCP isn't just supported by Claude Code, it's backed into the architecture. So Claude Code is both an MCP client and an MCP server. It can connect to external tools and other tools can connect to it. Here's what exists right now, right? There are MCP servers for HubSpot, Salesforce, Stripe, Shopify, Slack, and everything in between, and thousands more. I have MCP servers connected to my Superbase database, my Gmail, my calendar, my Stripe, my Slack. From terminal, I can say, find my deals in my pipeline, my emails, my everything, and it can connect to those tools to read information, and it can go back to execute information. So think of it like this. I can use my terminal and say, hey, go find, 10 leads that we should follow up on in the last 10 days, and it will go find them. And then I can use another MCP server, for example, Firecrawl, right? Go find information on these people, screenshot their website where something is broken, and write a personalized follow-up. Hey, I just noticed this on your website, with the personalized context that you have from their website, from the Fathom call we had in the past, and so on. So the leak also revealed that the MCP roadmap for 2026 includes agent-to-agent coordination, one AI agent delegating to another, and a curated registry for security audits. This protocol is becoming the standard. Microsoft just built an MCP server for their entire Dynamics 365 ERP system. For your business, the takeaway is start connecting things. Every tool you connect makes Claude Code more valuable. And the earlier you build that ecosystem, the harder it is for a competitor to replicate what you've built. Let me close the build with this. Because the leak created this whole news cycle, but the real story isn't what's in the source code. The real story is what people are actually doing with the tool. A developer on Twitter said his entire agency runs on $221 a month in tools, not $221,000, $221. Another one, most small businesses pay $5 to $10K a month for a marketing agency. Claude can do 80% of what they do for $20 a month. Now I run a marketing agency, so I'm the one being disrupted here, and I agree with them, which is why I use Claude Code to run mine. Anthropic's own head of Claude Code, Boris Cherny, shipped 300 pull requests in 1 month. Now, for those of you that have nothing to do with a developer, that's like running 5 agents simultaneously and the output of an entire small engineering team from one person. And this is the one that should hit home for all of you. Claude Code has genuinely replaced the need for 3 to 4 full-time team members. Just last week, we had someone build a billion-dollar company with literally 2 people and AI. So you're paying $20 or maybe $100 or $200 for the Pro Max plan for a tool that has the architecture of a small engineering team. It has memory system most people never configure, a plugin ecosystem most people never connect, autonomous background mode that is able to ship. The people who understand these 8 things are going to build businesses that look impossible to everyone else. The people who don't are going to keep using Claude Code like it's a chatbot and wonder why it's not helping. If you want a deep dive into templates for Claude and MCP setups, comment below what you want to see next. Now stop watching videos and go update your Claude.md file. That's probably the first thing that will change the output of all of your next prompts.